Greetings, friends, followers, and fans of the Phoenix the Cry. This is your friend Agent Alpha working on a tutorial video that people have asked for, how to understand the Guild Store. So without further ado, 15 minutes of video, enjoy.
Hey Alpha, funny
Hey.
running into you here. What brings you to the bank?
I'm actually using the bank for the Guild Store.
The guild store? What's that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I have a lot of people asking. I was actually about to set up a video to explain what the Guild Store is. Let's come inside. All right.
So the guild store is inside the bank?
Uh, Iconically, yes. Physically, no. So the Guild Store is accessed through the bank. And the way it works is that every guild may or may not have a guild store, depending on the guild's population. So you use a guild store to sell items to other players. Most people don't know about the guild store because most people aren't in a guild. Most people just log into the game and they just see in the local chat, hey, willing to sell a crafting motif, best offer, or willing to sell a bow of, unfathomable darkness, best offer. And so when you play the game, you see a lot of that going on, and players just start selling stuff in the open chat. That gets annoying, especially when you're an old player watching that pop up all the time. So what the game offers is a guild store. Once you join a guild, you have permissions to sell to a guild store if that guild has a guild store. And the way that you can tell whether a guild has a guild store or not is if that guild has 50 members or more. Once you have 50 members, you have a guild store. And you as a player can sell in that guild store if your guild leader gives you permissions to sell in that guild store. But the way that you access the guild store is to go to a bank in any town that has a bank and click on the banker, and you can actually start selling.
Okay. So as long as I'm in a guild, I can sell in my guild store with the permission of the guild
Exactly.
leader.
With permissions of the guild leader, you can sell in the guild store. I can actually show you step by step actually what that process looks like. So let me do that now here. So you go to social, go to guilds, in our case the Phoenix the Cry, and you'll see the ranks. Each rank has different permissions. In our lowest rank, the members are citizens. They do not have permission to sell in the guild store. It's not until you actually get the rank of merchant where you can actually sell in the guild store. But once you have that rank and you have the permissions to sell in the guild store, you then simply click on the banker herself and open up the option
You adventurers are a peculiar sort. I assure
Guild
you
Store,
we keep anything in...
and you'll see that you press square to browse the guild store, see the items that are currently being sold there, and we have a few items. We don't have a lot of merchants currently in our guild, and you press R1 to scroll over to where you can actually sell items. Anything that you have in here listed, you can go ahead and sell.
Okay. So I can sell anything in the guild store?
Practically anything. Practically anything. There are items that are bound to you, and certain items that you purchase from the Crown store that can't be sold in the guild store. For the most part, if it can be sold to an in-game merchant for more than a gold, you can sell it to the guild store.
Okay, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So how do, like, when I put something into the guild store, how do I know what to sell it for?
That takes some knowledge about game values. And the best way you can do that is simply go to other traders, talk to other players, go to the guild merchant, guild traders, and compare notes, compare prices.
So then what happens when one of my items sell? Like, how do I know?
You'll get a notification in the mail, and that item will then be removed from the store, and the gold will be sent directly to you in your character mail. Again, sitting there waiting for you to collect it, or it expires.
Okay.
I'm about to post an item since I have a free slot. I have a Praxis Deadland Archway large. It's listed suggested price to sell for 30 gold. $1 or 1 gold for the listing cost. 2 gold go to the guild itself. However, I personally know the thing's worth way more than that, so I'm gonna go ahead and list it for 20,000 gold. And it'll most likely sell. So there it is, 20,000 gold, 200 gold is the listing cost. The house will get a cut of 1,000 gold, and 18,000 gold gets refunded to me.
Oh, okay. And that arrives in the mail.
That'll arrive in the mail. I posted that item. My listing of all items that are currently for sale are sitting here in the guild store, and unfortunately the guild store is only serviced by our guild members. If I wanted to sell to the world, I have to use a guild trader.
What's the difference between the guild store and the guild trader?
The difference between the guild store and the guild trader, that's an excellent question. For that, we have to go elsewhere, and I'll show you the differences between the guild store and the guild trader. Follow me. All right, here we go. Let's make our way to the guild trader. Do you know what the guild traders look like on your map?
They look like little caravans, is that right? Or
No,
hourglasses?
the caravans are how you travel from country to country. Yeah, look for a scale within a shield that looks like a guild icon. We'll see if we can make our way to them. Yeah, the guild traders are interesting.
Guild traders in every town?
Not every town. Not every town. Quite a few towns though have guild traders. I'm just trying to remember where they are in this town.
Behind us.
Behind us?
I think.
I would have never found them.
Circle around this way.
I'll follow you. Go ahead. So only the most populated towns will have guild traders. So you'll travel from town to town. And also, some of the major highways.
Am I going the wrong way? I'm totally going the wrong way.
No problem. I'll follow you.
Me.
No, I'll follow you.
Excuse me, sir. Can we ask for directions?
See, I wasn't going to ask for directions. But yeah, you'll find guild traders in the most popular towns in each country, and also on the highways. It got me in this back alley. This dude with a sword is chasing me. Don't leave me in this strange town.
I guess he didn't like me asking for directions.
Right.
Alright, I think I've got it now. We need to turn.
Okay. So this symbol right here, this is the merchant. That scale symbol is the merchant. And yes, this is the guild trader. That scale with the shield behind it, those are guild traders. Very good, very good. So, guild traders. The difference between the guild store and the guild trader, the biggest difference is the fact that anyone outside your guild can interact with a guild trader, not just the people in your guild. So this person standing here, they're interacting with this guild trader, and this entire alley is filled with guild traders. As you look at the guild themselves, you can see the name of the guild that's actually associated with the guild trader. In this case, this guild, Why Buy Elsewhere, that's the name of the guild. the next guild over here, Knights of the Grove. That's another guild. So I'm not going to go, you know, from guild to guild highlighting them in my video, but you get the point. So I click on the guild trader itself, and as a leader of a guild, I have the option to bid on the guild trader. You may not see that option, but I can click on the guild itself I'll talk about this in another video about managing guilds and guild stores. But I can set a bid because I am a certain rank in my guild that gives me permission to set bids. And I go in here and I set a bid. We're just going to say 30,000 gold for this bid. And I submit, and at the very bottom of the screen you'll see the bid closes in 3 days. So 3 days from now we'll get the results on whether or not I won this guild trader's position. So that's basically the gist of the difference between a guild trader and a guild store. And if you ever have any questions about how to actually manage your guild store, I'll do that in another video. If I left something out, just leave a comment and I'll respond to those comments. So do you have any other questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So specifically, how would I become a trader or a merchant in your guild?
To become a merchant in my guild? Well, that's really simple. I promote people in my guild based on participation, item donation, and their play frequency. And the only thing you have to donate to become a merchant in my guild is 1,000 gold per week. Now, 1,000 gold per week may sound like a lot depending on your playstyle, or may sound like nothing, again, depending on your playstyle. But it's not my way of paying for the merchant or the guild trader. It's my way of letting me know that you're serious about it, because I have no other metric to know whether a person's serious about being a merchant other than to have some kind of, you know, tick mark. So you give 1,000 gold per week, I promote you to a merchant, and I update it on the Discord that you're a merchant. That way other players will know who to go to buy stuff or to know when things are selling. And that's it. Other guilds have other metrics, and like I said, there are other guilds that charge members 10,000 gold per week to be even a member in the guild, let alone selling in their store. But yeah, for the Phoenix Decry, 1,000 gold per week makes you a merchant. So if that concludes your questions, we will mosey back to our gameplay and start killing some stuff, and hopefully find some things that are even worth selling to the other players. And all types of stuff are worth selling, whether it's an item that you find in the world, or motifs, crafting materials. There's a large number of players in this game who don't do crafting. They just log in, do battlegrounds, but they want to gold out their gear, or just basically find a world item that they didn't have the time to go searching for. So I always recommend people to sell their trash to the guild, sell it to the players, make a profit, have fun. Cool.